Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another video for the channel. On this occasion, I bring you the best horror mods for your Minecraft world. Mods that are really good and come out from how repetitive we tend to be. See in this type of topics. So quickly, I remind you that you can leave your like and your subscription, since that will be helping me a lot to continue bringing you the content you love. And you wouldn't like it if suddenly stop making videos and I became a streamer, right? So good. With nothing more to say, now let's go for the video. We start at the top. Well, born in chaos, it is possibly the horror mod par excellence. Bringing from new creatures with unique treasures, new improved armament that will enhance your skills, and of course, a huge number of creatures and monsters. Well, if you were already tired of the typical zombies and skeletons that no longer represent no danger for you, now these will have new improved versions, much more powerful than some, with magical abilities. And even if you are looking for a little more variety, the Motrer are totally new enemies, such as the Night Stalker, the Terrible Mother Spider, the Missionary, a new variant of the Elagers, and of course, the Mighty Pumpkin Head Lord. Being by far of the most difficult bosses you will have to defeat. Next up, we'll have Box of Horror, a 100% dedicated mod to create a unique and terrifying experience. And as you probably know, the internet has always been divided into eras. And back in the distant 2012, what predominated most were the creepypastas. Well, this mod will be bringing everyone, or at least most of these. Jeff the Killer will have a small chance to appear when you go to sleep. Slenderman will inhabit the taiga forest and will chase you forever until you manage to find all your hidden pages. Sonic Esha can be summoned through one of the new cursed CDs. And so we will have a bunch of new creatures, paranormal, that when you least expect it, they will be knocking on your door.
No!
This mob will also add a bunch of new ones, tools and gadgets, after having defeated to some of the previous monsters. So yes, you will have a lot of things to do with this mod. Possibly all. Let's agree that one of the worst ways, and more possible for humanity, end up becoming extinct. Yes, due to some type of virus. In Minecraft, the closest thing we have, a kind of infection are spores of mushrooms. But what would you think? Take all this to a much more terrifying level. This is called fungal spore infection, which will add new enemies and creatures infected by the spore virus, making them much more dangerous and aggressive, in addition to a much better appearance, more terrifying. What will return? It is way much more realistic and disturbing. It is natural generation of infected creatures, capable to spread the virus if we don't stop it quickly, making our world becomes a real apocalypse. And as usual, we will also have new themed weapons, mostly done with the parts of some infected enemies, possibly being one of the most complicated mods in this video, but at the same time one of the most interesting. The Graveyard. This is a mod focused entirely on to the theme of enemies, undead and dark magic. Well now, our world will have been cursed by a corrupt former champion, which before being locked up in a hidden temple of the ocean, this would devastate different places, leaving destruction and death. Consequently, now several of the creatures of our world will have been corrupted, taking on an appearance much more terrifying and dark. Although the new enemies are somewhat striking and interesting, what will really be the strong point of this mod? They are the constructions, bringing a bunch of these, like cemeteries, abandoned houses, and temples. All this with interesting treasures, useful for your adventure. And of course, an epic final battle with the boss of this mod, counting with 3 different phases, where little by little it will lose part of their powers. If you are interested in seeing everything about this mod, you will have the full review on my channel. Since in order to advance in this correctly, you will need a series of steps, very similar to an RPG type adventure. Farmer S Delight is currently one of the mods, most famous and beloved by the community. And that's if a mod deserves to be part of the original game. It would definitely be this one. Thanks to its high quality of new foods and innovative mechanics for its time. But you might wonder, apart from Moham, we'll never put something like that to the original game. What's so scary about this? And it is that after years of his departure, have created an endless number of new edits, complementing it in his own way. But in the end, as all horror mods, they will all be the same.
¡Qué chafes!
Or at least in most cases. Dungeons Delight will be bringing us a bunch of new bizarre and scary foods, which will be taken as main ingredients. Parts of Minecraft enemies, zombie guts, the sniffer's eggs, gas tentacles, and even the guard will not be saved from being one more ingredient, but far from just creating new eye-catching foods. And nothing else. Some will have new monstrous abilities, being a type of evolution of some classic effects, as a super jump force or mining rush. All this plus new kitchen tools. And for combat, which will make it easier for you to obtain of new ingredients, being, at least in my opinion, one of the best accessories with a horror theme. The next mod on the list is called the Wendigo, a small horror mod that only will add a new creature. But despite this, will completely change our world. Well, to start with, now, every time it gets dark, we will hear this creature stalking us. And although at first glance it might look like an animal, not thinking that only will attack without warning. Get ready, because what he does, once it is in front of you, will make you want to uninstall the mod. Yes, it might look like a mod of common and ordinary terror. This feels like something special, even with its own ambient structure. A pretty simple mod, but it correctly fulfills its purpose. Make you feel unsafe in your Minecraft world. In the next position, we have From the Shadows, a mod that will add new demonic creatures to your world, being much more powerful than the classic Minecraft enemies, but above all being extremely aggressive. For our fortune, we can only find them at night or dark places like caves, since if they are touched by sunlight, will end up turning into stone. The mod will also add a set heals, improved armor, and weapons with magical abilities. For this way, face these new dangers without so much complication. And now let me ask you, you've never wondered where zombies come from?
Nah.
If you look closely, they are very different from the villagers, since we are the only ones, humans of our world. And even if we die at the hands of these, we will only appear at our spawn point. But what would you think if we add a little more realism to this? Well, now every time we lose our lives at the hands of some undead enemy, in that same place, a zombie with our appearance will be generated, with food and weapons included. This, in short, it would be an incredible change that fits perfectly with Minecraft aesthetics. Well, they won't be tombs as such, but a zombie, created in a completely logical way, and that we must defeat in order to recover our things. Sons of Sins, it is one of the most horror-themed mods, bloody and explicit, of recent times. And now, when we end life of some creature, they will only leave us their respective pieces of meat, but also other organs, like the heart and ribs. And even creatures, rare ones, will be leaving us unique pieces, like Creeper's ribs, Blaze's heart, and Enderman meat. Something that we can take advantage of when creating our own artificial beings, depending on which pieces we have used. This will have different skills and forms. And if that were not enough, we will also be able to summon each of the legendary 7 deadly sins when sacrificing villagers in blood rituals. 7 creatures, highly dangerous, that they will pursue us relentlessly to finish us off. Without a doubt, one of the best horror mods that won't let you down. Nothing to the imagination. And that, just like the cuts of the flesh of the creatures, it will be excellent quality content. And to finish, we will have the Undead mod. And it is more than certain that as players, we agree that in Minecraft, Their most representative enemies. They are skeletons and zombies, although these at most only will receive small improvements, or rather, adaptations to other environments. But what would you think about feeling truly in an apocalypse of the living dead? And now for our world. May appear a huge variety of skeletons, zombies with truly dangerous abilities. And what if you are not well prepared? It is more than possible that they will end your life. Not to mention the grotesque design and realistic that some of these will have, not only increasing greatly the difficulty of your world, but also its atmosphere of terror. And as an extra fact, if you wanted to increase even more that feeling of being in a zombie apocalypse, this mod will have its own texture pack to make its creatures much more grotesque and realistic. But what did you think of these mods? Which of all of them was the one that caught your attention the most? You can put me in the comment box. What would be your top 3? Or even if you have any recommendations for some upcoming video, I'll be reading you in the comments. Well guys, I hope you liked it, that you had fun. Which is the most important thing for me? If you liked the video, I would ask that you please leave your like. You will comment what you thought of this video. What other kind of video would you like to see on the channel? And also, subscribe. That is very important. Remember that black cats, they don't bring bad luck. And see you in the next video. Ciao.